is Ola Larsen, and I'm running marketing within a company called TAT from Sweden. TAT stands for the Astonishing Tribe, and we do mobile user interface, and we do UI technology software that is licensed by big OEMs like Motorola, Samsung, Sony Ericsson and so forth. So that is, we've been around in the business since 2002. So it was started by 6 young guys who came from the gamer scene, and then started to work with Sony Ericsson just in the time when we went from black and white screens to color screens. And they thought of a way to actually enhance the experience by adding software rendering to it, and that is kind of the whole start of the saga for TAT. And today we're growing, and we're 150 people in the world, and we have offices in Malmö, Gothenburg, and then in Korea and in the US. Our framework is completely OS agnostic, so you can run it on all embedded RTOS type systems, or you can use it across all these other platforms like Android, Windows Mobile, and so forth. And it completely scales across them, and that's one of the key advantages, that you can actually take one UI design and have it scaled across all the other platforms, and thereby having a much better development time. It goes faster to develop and more rapid prototyping and so forth with our software. I think it's at least one hot topic. With Android entering the market after iPhone came along, then Android now wants to take on a big portion of that market share as well. So Android, as an example, is growing very rapidly with thousands of new applications every week. And from that perspective, app developers are getting much more important in the whole spectrum between hardware vendors, operators, and application developers. And what we have seen is basically that the other guys, like the operators and hardware guys, they need to stand up in order not to be overrun by the application developers, because it's all about taking the space in. You only have one single screen, and everyone wants to be visible in that. They want to have their brand there, they want to have their application in front, not a couple of levels down. It should be easy to find and so forth. And from that perspective, all of these guys need to work together to see how can we, instead of fighting, they should work together to innovate the next round of user experiences, because we don't believe there is the final UI that can overrule everything else. There is always something that can be improved. And we have done that, for example, with innovating with dual screens, that you have multiple screens. We have been looking at different kind of sensors, haptics, accelerometers, and so forth. All those kind of innovations drive the business. And another area is augmented reality, where we've also been talking a lot and done a lot of prototyping and demos. For example, the recognizer that has been fairly well viewed on YouTube. All we do, you can actually see in our YouTube channel called youtube.com/tatmobileui. There you can see all our different demos. And Recognizer is one of the ones that have been seen the most. And basically it's an application that allows you to identify a person that's with your camera, and then you will get their social media profile shown in front of them. And that is a way for you to actually dress up virtually. And that, just like Facebook, you want to give yourself a profile. You want to have, you want to be. I'm wearing a TAT T-shirt today, and I have a reason for that, because I want to show that I am from TAT. And the same thing goes when I dress up virtually. I can show that, okay, I'm a Facebook fan, I have my Picasso pictures and so forth. All of them I can actually portray, and I select what I want to show, the ones around me. Yes, absolutely. We see that the camera is kind of an underestimated sensor in that perspective. Most people think of it as something you take pictures with, but you can actually, now when you can use it both as an input and output mechanism, you can actually get a much more interesting augmented reality experience. So I think that will be one of the key drivers, paired with innovations within location and navigation, GPS and so forth. That is where we see the future is going. I think that is very much up to common sense in one set. One meaning is common sense from everyone too, because in one sense it's actually easier to go into Google, and if you go and just search for a person, you actually get all types of content around that person. But here, this is kind of different, because here you're actually showing what you want to show them, and it's actually you who decide who can actually be on that. Because it's invite only, so you cannot just walk around on a party and take a picture of anyone and then say, okay, and find all the information. But on Google, if you go to the web, you can actually Google up all type of information you want. But this is where you get more in control of what type of content you want to share and how you virtually dress up. I think it's what I call stagnation, because everyone always wants to find out something fresh. I'm always looking for new applications, new music. There is a momentum of finding new things that can trigger yourself to do something. And if everything is always optimized towards one scenario, then then we might end up in a situation where the innovation part of things will go down. But if you suddenly then introduce double displays, then the whole innovation paradigm shifts, because now the app developers can actually think with 2 dimensions, or 3 dimensions, and so forth, and actually get a completely new setup.
Thank you for the interview, Ola Larsen.
Thank you.